True living Africa. True living Africa.
Hello. Welcome to True Living Africa, your wellness podcast. I'm Uyok Hansen.
And I'm Oyin Talabi.
We are your
Health and Wellness Coaches.
And we are here to help you live your best life.
Yay! Hello, Africa. How y'all doing today?
Hey, Africa. What's up?
It's a good day, isn't it? A rainy day, but good.
It is. It's so speaking of rainy days, right? I went out this morning for a run.
In the rain?
No, it hadn't started raining then.
Okay.
And then the clouds started to form, right? And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to run a bit faster so that I can get back,
beat the rain
to my starting point. And then I did something. I said, let me even check what the weather
forecast is.
Yeah, let me ask Siri,
Okay.
And I say, Siri, what's the weather like today? And Siri says, it's a bit cloudy, but it's not going to rain. So I then asked Siri again. I said, Siri, is it going to rain today? I don't think it's going to rain today. It's just a bit cloudy. As I hung up, I said, okay, that's amazing. The power of technology. So I slowed down and I was just going. The next thing,
Siri got it wrong.
I was like, F you, Siri. Useless. Nonsense.
That's too funny.
The rain just came from nowhere and beat the S out of me. I was like,
that's
so
the
much
rain
for
say,
Siri.
listen to Siri.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, let's not rely too much on these things.
Exactly. As you follow your instincts sometimes. If it feels like it's going to rain, it just might rain.
So yeah, but it was a beautiful morning.
Yeah.
And it did feel like Christmas a little bit to me. And that kind of end of year feeling. Yeah,
it is.
So.
It's flown by, but we're grateful that we are still standing. It's been an interesting year.
Yeah,
I know it's been interesting. So today, what are we talking about?
We are talking about detox.
Detox, one of our favorite things.
Yes,
to do. And not only is it one of our favorite things to do, it's one of the most fundamental things that we should be doing.
We should be living a detoxed life, right? A detoxified life as opposed to going on fancy detoxes every now and then.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Hopefully you followed you'll be following us.
The detox series.
Yes, we did a series.
So we did a deep dive into how the body detoxifies itself.
Yeah.
And how we really should just support the body in that process of detoxification. You can't go on your own and pull toxins out of your bloodstream.
Yeah.
Our bodies are already designed infinitely intelligent to detoxify itself, and detoxifying is important because of all the toxins we are bombarded with on a day-to-day. And
it's ridiculous.
And we had this analogy about detox, just to recap our previous episodes, about how, if for instance, you have a dishwasher in an Italian restaurant. I don't know why I just imagined the dishwasher in an Italian restaurant.
We know what you like.
Yes, you know that. So, and that's one of the things I always put on hold whenever, I need a bit of...
When you're at the remove stage.
Yes.
You remove.
I need to eliminate, pasta. And so, just think about the dishwasher and how... maybe it's designed to serve 100, wash 100 plates on any given night, right? And on this busy night, it has 150 plates to wash. And obviously that automatically means that there's a 50 plate backlog.
Yeah.
What happens when we bring another 150 plates the next day and so forth, and you just keep having that day. And you're doing this every day and having that backlog. And this is what we do to our system when we are bombarded with toxins from the food we eat, the air we breathe, just by being in this toxic environment. And even some relationships, add to our toxicity.
To our mental and emotional toxicity.
Exactly.
Very
right.
True.
And so not taking the time to support the body to open up its own detoxification pathways will leave you with all this backlog where you start, overwhelmed, start to feel sluggish, tired, you've got brain fog, you're demotivated.
Your skin is breaking out.
You're breaking out. Your ankles, your knees and joints hurt like crazy.
Yeah.
And you're just inflamed.
Basically inflamed and bloated.
Right. And you're like, I'm bloated. I need to detox. You just know that all is not well with your body. Especially as we get older, we have to pay closer attention to these things.
Most definitely, because the body has been, all these toxins. Disease doesn't just happen. When we start to actually exhibit symptoms, it means that something was already wrong for a while, on the inside before it
started manifesting
on the physical and external level. When we're detoxing, particularly when we start to hit the 40s, by the time you're approaching your 35s and the toxins have been accumulating all these years, and at that point, symptoms now start to develop and stuff, and so we need to really pay attention.
Right.
We have broken down the process or the detox process into 3 stages, and the 3 stages, as much as there are 3 stages, they're not necessarily separate
or one after the other.
Or
they're
one after the
simultaneous.
They work simultaneously and all, because one of the things with the body, like you said, it's a very intelligent machine, and so once you start to support it, almost immediately, it starts to respond in that way. So like the first stage of the 3 stages or principles of detox, the first one is remove.
Right.
Then the second one is release. And the third one is repair.
Yeah.
So now that remove stage is where you remove
harmful things.
You remove the triggers from the immune triggers. So the things that would trigger your body generally.
And you're removing it from your environment and from your diet.
Right? So this is when you remove highly processed foods from your diet. This is when, if you know that your body doesn't like granules, I like to use granules because my body doesn't like it, but my mouth loves it. So you start to remove the granule from your diet. Someone like an Uyok will remove pasta from her diet. You will remove, all the white foods, the trans fat, the glutens, so those things we remove.
Yeah.
And
whatever your body is allergic to, really
remove it.
And some people,
you shouldn't even be eating it because it wears your system out.
When your body says it doesn't like something, there's a reason it doesn't like it.
There's a reason.
And so don't force it, especially when you want to support your body to remove and repair.
There goes Gary and Ekpa for me.
Right.
But we're living. We found substitutes.
Right.
Which is great.
Yes.
We found substitutes.
But I like Gary in the sense that it's a fermented food. It's
great for your gut.
Yeah, it is. Is the peanuts that can be
protein. It will just help to slow down how it enters your system.
Right.
But unfortunately,
because of all they go rancid. Their method of
they're not even they're not processed well, properly. And then even some of the seeds that we have now
molds on it.
They've even been GMO'd, so some of them are not. They're not the pure strands. So there's an enzyme in the granules that we have now, at least in Nigeria, that the body is not processing well. Yeah. I can't remember what it's called.
Just creates all kinds of havoc. So you really want to be careful
and be removing
downloading an entire bottle of groundnuts.
Downloading
that you buy in the streets.
Yes, so
off the store shelves.
Especially in this
that.
COVID time when people are blowing into it and all. So please be mindful about how we actually eat street food. It's true.
Yes.
Be mindful.
Yes. Right.
So after the remove stage, this is where you have physically done something. You've stopped removing the triggers. And the interesting thing with the body is as soon as you stop those triggers, your body gets to work.
Right.
And starts to now
because
it doesn't have to deal with.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like the analogy of the detox, at this point is when you have closed the kitchen. Kitchen has stopped. There are no more plates coming out.
Right.
So when you're at the release stage. So this is now when the machine can now start washing the backlog that it has. It takes its time.
Yeah.
So now what we now have to do, like you had said earlier, the body is designed to eliminate. So where we come in is to now support that process.
Yeah.
So
by doing the right things.
with your dishwasher, this is where you go and get the correct soap.
Yeah.
You use the right water. You don't stress it out, just so that you can at least get through this backlog before you can now think about buying another dishwasher to support the new capacity that your machine now has to deal with.
Right.
So you're now supporting. So how do we support the releasing of the toxins, particularly with African foods come in.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that I like about our protocol is we don't believe in hard and intense protocols. So we don't say
detoxification, no.
Yeah, for anything actually.
Yeah,
we don't
for
say
anything, even
go on a water diet. We don't say drink only water for a detox or drink only
because you're doing your
juices.
body more harm than good.
Your body will just be holding on to those toxins as a man.
Exactly, because toxins can actually recycle.
And remember, toxins, you need to go back to our detox series.
Yeah.
Because toxins, your body stores toxins in fat cells.
That's it. That's
so
true.
if you're giving it a harsh protocol, trying to force that toxin out, your fat cells will be holding on to it. You have to do something that will make your body actually burn fat so that it can release the toxins.
Exactly. And then we go into the whole chemical chain of your mitochondria and your cellular membrane, being permeable enough to release the fat cells, toxins. So it's stuff that you do gradually.
Exactly.
Right? And you do
are not
every day.
Out.
Right.
Exactly.
You can't even yank out.
So
you just get injured. That
exactly.
way.
So now one of the things that's happening at this stage is that your body, to help your body start releasing, you now want to support those elimination pathways. The first place to go to is that liver, because that is the powerhouse, basically.
Yeah.
So now your body is producing bile.
Oh yeah.
And then your body uses bile for two things: to emulsify fat and also to carry out toxins out of your body.
Toxins
so
out.
Remember, we just said now that you can't just yank the toxins out. You have to do something to the fat.
Yeah.
So that your body can release the toxins that are within the fat. And that's where you then need to encourage your body or support your body in producing bile. So now how do we support our bodies in producing bile? Bile has a bitter taste. It has a bitter taste profile. So when you puke and you haven't eaten, that you can taste that it's sour. So you need foods that are sour, that are bitter, that will help to trigger that and ginger your body to release it.
And that's so we have things like bitter leaf, the dandelion, soursop,
king of bitters.
Yeah.
So those kind of things work. And that's why, there's some...
They sell off the shelves.
Yeah, that are really bitter.
Swedish
bitters.
Yeah, the Swedish bitters has been around for the longest time, but they are now Nigerian. Yeah, since we were 5.
Since before I was born. Since before I was. I remember Swedish bitters was.
Yeah,
I remember
it was 18 something. I don't know that they, but now what I love about, Africa, we have our own versions now, of different. And some people wonder, this bitter stuff, what do people really need it for? It's great
This is what you need it for.
Yes, it's really great for detoxifying
and
helping
bile production.
Stimulating bile production.
Yeah, very, very important. So now, at this same stage, when your body is now, releasing more bile and trying to flush out all those toxins, we now need antioxidants and anti-inflammatory foods that will also help.
Yeah.
So, because we want to be removing free radicals and get the body generally ready for elimination, helping that process.
Right, and as you said, it happens simultaneously.
Exactly.
So while we are activating, the bile,
the release
of, through the bile, we also want to
eliminate, get it out.
And when we talk about support here, we're really talking about how you can support it through dietary intervention, and lifestyle. Your supplements, your diet, your movement, right? And so with antioxidants and anti-inflammatories, for instance, when people have like painful joints and so forth that have been made even weaker with toxins, anti-inflammatories really help
to bring that inflammation.
Yes, and you have stuff like pineapple. I love pineapple, bromelain, but fermented drinks like apple cider vinegar, which is in fact
standard. Standard in New York's house.
Yes.
Standard with every meal.
It's with every meal, we do the ACV.
Once we finish that, once we finish a meal, we just have some ACV to yourself calm.
ACV
And it's amazing. We should actually do a whole series session on ACV because it's amazing.
It's amazing. It just regulates your blood sugar, takes
reorders your gut as well. So it's also anti-inflammatory and antioxidant.
Exactly.
And then our favorite, one of our favorites as well, turmeric and black pepper tea.
That's right.
We have a recipe on our Instagram page, so you should check that out.
Yeah. At True Living Africa, that turmeric and black pepper tea recipe is on there. It's something you can do every day or every morning.
Yeah.
It's not, but obviously you have to be careful with the stain of turmeric. But turmeric is really, really, it's great.
And you can cook with it as well. Even if you don't want to drink it like a tea, you can cook with it.
You can make your curries, your stews, add it to your smoothie.
Or you can eat yellow rice.
That's true.
With turmeric, yeah.
Yes.
Another thing too is lemon. So lemon in water. Yeah. So lemon too is also great in vitamin C. It's an antioxidant. So lemon is also a good thing that you can drink. But be mindful that if you're drinking lemon too often, it can actually affect the enamel of your teeth. So you want to sort of use a straw as much as possible, or rinse out your mouth when you're done.
Yeah.
And then
just have it infused with your water, because obviously water is the number one thing.
And you need water in this stage. Remember, we're trying to eliminate toxins out of that system. And if you think about it, how do all these things flow in the body? It has to be watered. It has to be in a liquid form. So we need things that will even help the kidney. Yeah. So as much as the liver is now producing bile, we now have antioxidants that are helping the body flow out. We now also have to support the kidney as well, so that it's also flushing out the toxins as well. So we need to take things like garden egg, celery.
Yes, those are like diuretics that help flush excess water
from your system. So would ginger your kidneys to work. So you're also drinking a lot of water, apart from eating this kind of fruits that are local to us here in Africa, in West Africa. There's grapefruit as well. Watermelon, carrots, lemon,
tiger nut milk, oily fish,
tiger nut milk.
And even brown rice, millet. Yes, especially if you're trying to cut out the gluten and the other, refined starchy food. So if you're not wanting to go on a fully green, detox,
which is interesting, because remember
you want to be able to have like whole grain foods because of the fiber.
That's an interesting point, because most diets will tell you, most detox protocols will tell you to cut out most foods.
Most foods, anything cooked or whatever.
So you're only drinking drinks and smoothies.
You really don't need to do that.
Because
it just makes you tired.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you need the fiber. And which brings me to the chief of all, detoxification food groups, which is leafy green and cruciferous vegetables. Those are like second to water. Those are the best things you can ever do. And if you even if you get into a habit, make it intentional. Get into a habit where you have at least one meal. Although our protocols will always suggest that you have leafy greens or any kind of veg with all your meals as much as possible, because the fiber is necessary to clean out your gut. But if you're not able to do that with every meal, make it a habit. Be intentional about having one green meal a day. It could be stir fried, it could be steamed, it could be raw. Raw is better, but not everyone can handle raw greens. But it's important that you have that one meal where you have all cooked. All your I don't like drinking it, but just to support what you're saying. So you can blend it in whatever form. Right. So one of my favorite
get it in.
One of my favorite go-to green drinks is the cucumber, parsley. Then I put some apple in there just to give it some to sweeten it. Then I have ginger. I've got mint, and then sometimes we add what's that leaf we added the other time to take
parsley.
It. No, it wasn't parsley. It was coriander. So we had coriander and parsley, and it gave it this, took it to a whole new level.
But my favorite green drink is water leaf and parsley.
Right.
I love parsley.
Right. Parsley is just a fantastic go-to detox. And so having this either every morning or last thing at night. One thing I know about that detox drink is that if you're trying to lose weight, for instance, right, or you're on a weight management program, what that does when you have it last thing at night, it kind of prevents weight gain. And it helps you just sort of balance out your weight. And so if you're even eating normally, having your, pasta, whatever at lunch, when you have that detox drink at night, it really helps flush your systems. And when you think about it, by the time you go to the bathroom, by the time you're sweating and your kidneys are functioning properly, your liver, your weight management will be a lot easier.
If you think about it, but your body at night is healing. That's a good time to heal. So if you are knocking it out just before you go to bed, if you're packing it in with all those alkalining properties from the green drink,
exactly,
you're giving your body the ammunition it needs to really flush out
and repair overnight. That's it.
I know. And then in the morning you wake up, you drink a tall glass of water to now really help that flushing out system, and then you can go to the bathroom, hopefully, and eliminate.
Yes.
And that takes us to the next stage of repair.
Yeah.
So remember, we said that they're all flowing simultaneously. So as much as we're saying release,
remove and release and repair,
repair is also happening simultaneously, and it's interesting. And that's why I love, and why some of African foods or some herbs always come across as confusing, because some of them do the same, they do different things. So like, let's take ginger. So like, let me explain the remove process, which is where we are now. So we've removed, we've released. Now
about the
repair.
Process,
So now the repair process is now when you're helping your body to repair. You've removed toxins, but if there was cellular damage or tissue damage or whatever damage that may have been going on from all the inflammation that your body was going through from all the toxins, this is where it now starts to repair. So you need a different set of helpers to help it do that. So now some herbs or some fruits,
our African helpers,
they work simultaneously. So let's take ginger for example. So ginger was necessary in the release stage, in the stage before, because it helps your body to release toxins, but then also in the repair stage, it's also helping your body. It's great for the intestines and for your gut. It helps to improve liver function, which is also happening in the stage before. Your liver is working throughout. It helps to flush out toxins from the blood and from the lymph nodes. It helps to increase your metabolism. So ginger is a powerhouse for almost everything.
Every stage of detoxification.
Yeah, in herbal medicine, they call it a tonic. Because it actually permeates all your cells, all your tissues. It's useful for almost every part. Every body function. It's ridiculous how power-packed ginger is. Another thing that we need in the repair stage is we're now bringing in good bacteria. So again,
your probiotics, and fermented foods.
Exactly.
It's so key. It's so key because a lot of us are, a lot of us have got like low-level irritable bowel syndrome, leaky gut.
And all of these are showing now that we're approaching our 40s now. Everything is just manifesting.
I used to be able to eat all this stuff and, not have any issues. But now, it's an accumulation, like we said earlier. So, probiotics are really important in the sense that they replace the gut flora. The good bacteria in the gut that tends to be stripped out when we take drugs and medicines like antibiotics and so forth.
Or belly blast tea.
Or detox
tea.
Yes, or detox tea.
And that's not to say I'm not knocking them. We're not knocking them because they do come in handy. Take it from me. I'm the constipation queen. However,
you don't want to be taking laxatives every day.
That's what happens, because there was a season where I was always constipated. I mean, I've always been constipated as a child. It was ridiculous. But I then discovered them belly fat and detox teas, and so I got addicted to it because it was just helping. But what that does is that your body becomes dependent
on it, and it strips your body of the natural
of all the good bacteria.
And its natural ability to eliminate
your body gets lazy. It's just waiting for that center to come in and shake
flush,
things into place. So I had to then go through a detox of detoxing myself
from the
detox tea. So that, and then retrain my system
and balance with your fiber.
With my fibers.
Yes, and balance with your fiber. Fiber is so key.
Fiber
so probiotics in the form of fermented foods. What kind of fermented foods are we talking about?
Let's go back to Gary.
Right.
Gary is just good. It's it's fermented. It's full of fiber as well. So it's really good. So even if you don't feel like drinking the Gary, you can just add water to it and drink the water of the Gary.
Exactly.
I know that
especially if you're concerned about the high carb profile
of the
Gary.
So
then
you
the
can
other
just
thing
drink
like
the water.
lychee,
pap as well. Some people drink the water of pap.
Yes.
Again, because of that fermented, it's fermented. So just drinking the water gets you all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily need to drink the pap itself. Apple cider vinegar comes in.
Yeah.
Another thing is kunu.
Yes. I like kunu myself. Yeah.
So kunu, that's from the northern part of Nigeria.
Yeah.
And tiger nut milk as well, and that can also be fermented.
Yeah.
But doesn't taste.
It doesn't taste as good. But don't be afraid of fermented drinks and vegetables.
All. And then locust beans,
right?
Iru.
That's Iru.
So things like that. Just go for it.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to point out in terms of, elimination is movement and sweat.
Movement and sweat. So there are those physical things that we need to do.
Those are physical things we need to do. And I know that we're talking about detoxifying with African foods, but in our environment and in our climate where some people equate exercise with going to the gym and some, complicated stuff. It doesn't have to be that way. But what we need to understand is that in order for your skin, which is a huge detoxification pathway, to eliminate, you need to be able to work up a sweat.
Yeah.
And so you get out there, get your heart rate up. You can skip at home if your neighborhood is not safe.
Yeah. You can walk up and down your stairs.
You can walk up and down your stairs if you've got stairs.
Yeah.
Or just,
walk around
your
compound
your
if you're not able to leave the house.
Yes.
But you need to get your metabolism up, your system.
Right. And if you even notice, even though we don't, use the scale as a measure of our self-worth or whatever we've accomplished, if you get up in the morning and before you eliminate with your bowels, right, and you step on the scale just as an experiment, you see that after eliminating, you're a few grams lighter.
I'm going to check that out.
Yes. So step on the scale and then go to the bathroom and step.
My poop weighs.
Yes, and go back on the scale. Then, after you've done that, go for a run. Right, work up a sweat, come back and step on the scale and see what happens.
So for that one, I would imagine that you would be heavier after you've gone for the run because your muscles are...
No, nothing strenuous. I'm talking about just working up a good sweat. Okay. Cardio. If you go for a strength training session,
your
don't
muscles
bother.
Yes,
your muscles are going to be heavier. But if you go for a run, a medium, a mid-tempo kind of aerobic workout, work up a good sweat. Step on the scale again and you see that the water, the elimination and the pulling out of the water from your body is going to make you a few grams lighter.
You can also do that with a sauna as well. So you can go into the sauna or steam room. So, but you have basically say once you've eliminated through your skin and you get on the scale, that you can actually see the difference. That is interesting. I'm going to try those two things out.
Yes, give it a try.
So interesting.
A good try.
I know. I also realized that we didn't even mention garlic and onions. Those are powerhouses.
And in fact, one of the major things that people use right now to get them through a COVID infection is when they, steam the garlic and onions and inhale it, and all that lovely stuff goes into your lungs and helps to just clear.
I'm just happy to eat it. Just eat it.
Swallow it whole.
Just crush it into your food.
Yeah.
I've been known to slice. I've been known to crush garlic and add it to my.
Yes, you are the garlic queen.
Add it to my food. Slice up my onions. Add it to my food.
And I have to remind you that we have a meeting today.
So should be like, that there are pills.
Right, and we've got a meeting on Thursday, so no garlic on Thursday morning, please. Or garlic after the meeting.
Oh my God! I'm always like, when my friends come back, I'm always like, my husband must love garlic
because it's going to be a garlic house.
In
an obvious way. It's not like the subtle one where you do your stir fries with them. No, this is like we're having garlic for dinner.
Mr. and Mrs. Garlic. That's what's going on here.
So yes, your garlic, your onions, your ginger, and this, like we say, we like to really put a torch on our local foods because we believe that eating local is more sustainable.
Yeah.
What happens if you're dependent on certain imported foods and then
a lockdown happens.
And you can't access.
No, but this is actually serious because one of my mentors, someone that I worked with, passed away during COVID. So she had been had been ill and had been getting treatment abroad.
Yeah.
And so when the lockdown happened, she was locked down here. And so when the medication that she needed, she ran out of it.
Because of the supply chain issues.
Supply chain was disrupted. So she couldn't get her medication, blah, blah, blah. And we lost her.
Wow.
And that's a powerful
really
thing.
Sad. Yeah.
If we can keep things sustainable.
Yeah, keep things local. It's local. A good way to go because we've got so much stuff. We have
so much stuff.
A treasure trove of stuff.
That we haven't even maximized.
Absolutely. So yeah,
interesting
great stuff. So takeaways.
Takeaways is your body just needs support.
Right.
So support your body in any way that you can. But first off, remove. So that's my first takeaway. Then the second takeaway is that removing the triggers is also a very, very important part.
And if that's all you even do,
that's
sometimes,
a great thing to do.
It's a great help for your body.
Yeah.
My takeaway is keeping things local. Knowing that we can do our fancy or regular detoxes with African foods. We can
That's so
live a great
liberating.
life. Yes, it's so liberating. Keep it local. Just figure out, ways to incorporate these things we've just mentioned into your diet, and you'll be in a good place. And again, keep moving so that you can sweat out and release toxins through your skin.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So pick up the other episodes from wherever you get your podcast, on iTunes, Anchor, and download from www.africabusinessradio.com. Also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Africa Business Radio and at True Living Africa.
And if you feel like you need a detox or you need support in just even wading through all of this and finding out what works for you, please reach out to us on Instagram. Just send us a DM.
Right.
Slide into our DM.
And we're there to help you.
Thank you, Africa. Thank you for listening.
On that note, see you next time.
See you next time.